This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Okay, hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Peter. Here we have a sketchbook that I've been working on for a while. We're about, just over halfway through right now. And today in this video, we're going to put about 15 hours more worth of drawing into another page spread of it. And then at the end, I'll do another even slower flip through so we can see everything we've accomplished so far. By the way, before we get started here, I do want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. They make it possible for me to keep doing art like this. They're kind of like the Pope, and I'm kind of like Michelangelo. If the Pope was a website with thousands of high-quality instructional videos, and if Michelangelo was like some guy sitting in his apartment doodling on long scraps of paper. So if you're interested in those high-quality instructional videos, if you want to learn how to illustrate, whether it's digitally, traditionally, landscapes, portraits, typography, they've got other stuff too. Check it out. You can get 2 months premium content free with a little link in the description, and it'll help me out. Thank you. All right, let's get down to this. All right, so as I mentioned before, this page spread here did take me about 15 hours. I know that only because I recorded the whole thing, and that's about how much recorded footage I had. Obviously, I wasn't drawing nonstop that whole time, but I think it's safe to count in, bathroom breaks, stopping, stretching, blinking, things like that into the total time, because if it was a real job, if I clocked in, I wouldn't clock out to go to the bathroom or to blink or stretch or anything like that. So, 15 hours is about right. Obviously, that is a long time. I didn't do it all 15 hours in one day. I could, maybe, if I planned it out right, if I had my food ready and, I was about to say if I had a bucket there, but no, going to the bathroom counts. I think I'm definitely capable of drawing for 15 hours if I really get into it, because I'm definitely capable of getting into that. There's different things people call it, right? The flow state or the getting into the zone, kind of losing yourself to the art, to drawing. And it's not only art that you can lose yourself to. In fact, I think if you've ever driven somewhere before, especially if it's a drive that you do fairly often, have you ever left the house and then driven to work or to school or something, and then you pulling into the parking lot and you're like, wait a second, how did I get here? Did I run any red lights? Did I run over any people? It's a little bit different when it comes to drawing because I remember all the lines I draw, but what I don't remember is all the time passing. Sometimes I can sit there for hours, and if I think back, it will feel like just half an hour or 20 minutes, which is a great thing for me because sometimes the days feel too long and sometimes they feel too short. Like I have too many things I want to get done, too many lines to draw, too many errands to run, too many of this, too many of that, and there's only ever 24 hours in the day. And of course, I have to spend some of it eating, some of it sleeping, some of it in the bathroom. It's 2019, and I feel like we should have figured out how to eliminate some of these necessities from our lives, right? I guess that's why people invented things like Soylent to try to minimize the whole eating thing, but just the fact that hasn't caught on more than it has, I guess, it speaks for itself, right? There's some people out there who have a Soylent for lunch or anything, but there's not a lot of people who exclusively drink Soylent unless they're doing some weird, challenge just to try to prove it to themselves or everyone else how cool they are or how much they don't need food, or I don't know, it's kind of expensive too compared to right now. This is what I do. Actually, I've recently changed it. But for a while, I was eating veggie burgers, 2 veggie burgers every day for breakfast. I've started trying to switch to cereal, but cereal doesn't sit as easy on my stomach as veggie burgers for some reason. I just feel great after having 2 veggie burgers for breakfast, and I don't know why it's so good for me. I mean, I don't know if it's actually good for me because that's also 4 pieces of bread, right? Tell me, is 2 veggie burgers is that healthy for me? 2 veggie burger patties. Obviously, I'm not telling you the nutritional information, right? You're not reading the back of the package. And then there's 2 whole grain buns, which is 4 pieces of bread cut in, because it's 2 buns cut in half. And then I liberally apply real mayonnaise and Dijon mustard. So I feel like if anything, the mayonnaise is setting it off. That stuff has got to be fatty or something. But I eat those, and then I bought some honey bunches of oats with almonds, honey roasted or something, and I've been eating that with almond milk, right? So it's like extra almondy, and it's just even just an hour later, I'm already hungry again. I'm getting some weird kind of heartburn or acid reflux or just some sort of kind of digestive feedback. I don't really know what all that kind of stuff is, but I just don't have as good of a morning as when I eat the veggie burgers. And obviously, can we all agree that the idea of breakfast foods is a farce? It's a myth, right? Why can we eat sausages for breakfast and not eat hamburgers? They're almost the same thing. They just taste slightly different. You can't say because one is more dense or something. We eat breakfast for dinner. Why can't we eat dinner for breakfast? It's just it's a cultural, trend. But you can do whatever you want. I may or may not continue eating cereal, or I may or may not continue eating the veggie burgers. I kind of go through phases. For a while, I was eating lots of Brussels sprouts with my veggie burgers later in the day, or chicken tenderloins. I wouldn't eat chicken tenderloins with the veggie burgers, but I don't know why I'm telling you so much about my diet. Have I already told you all this, by the way? I don't remember. Anyways, I switched from the Brussels sprouts just to broccoli. Also, I read somewhere that broccoli was something we recently invented. Maybe not as recently as edamame, but it's not like a naturally occurring thing that's been around for a long time. I casually heard that somewhere and didn't bother to look it up any further. So someone should just go ahead and confirm or deny that for me. Or you can say, I cannot confirm or deny the origin of broccoli. Well, that statement doesn't make much sense, but you know what I mean. Anyways, I'm pretty happy with how this drawing turned out. I usually say that. At some point in the video, I say a bunch of stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know what else to say. I should talk about the drawing, and then I say, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I am. I've got some more bulbous people in there, different postures. I could add some with multiple arms. I think maybe I need to change up the number of limbs on these bulbous people. That's an option. Look, I just want to keep my diet simple and healthy. And I don't know. I'm sure, look, some of you are dying to give me diet tips right now. Hey, go ahead. Fire away. Give me diet tips. I know that a good, important part of a diet is variety, but that's the part that discourages me the most. Because then that's what makes grocery shopping a huge chore, right? I like being able to go grocery shopping, just buy a lot of a couple things, and buy those a lot of couple things the same every time. That's all. Because every time I go, I just grab a bunch of veggie burger patties. The same buns, the same Dijon mustard, Grey Poupon, the same mayonnaise, and then some chicken tenderloins, some of this, some of that. It's just pretty straightforward. But should I just grow up? Should I just grow up and learn to grocery shop like a real person? Get some variety in my diet? Is that the healthiest? Is that the real answer? Am I just running away from the truth? I don't know. Anyways, goodbye everyone. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Okay? All right. Goodbye.